Hey everyone, it's Heather. I am pulling up my business page and stuff, so just give me a second to put it on and I'll get started right away. I'll give people a chance to sign on. Make sure I'm on the right spot. So, as promised, I am going to ink a shirt. So I actually have lots of plain shirts in different colors and different sizes, even some pocket tees and some polo shirts. So if anybody's interested in doing, like, I guess we'll call it a workshop where either people bring their own t-shirts or I bring t-shirts and you guys make a shirt, we can do that. So this is in, it's a Fruit of the Loom 2XL. So not huge. And it's like an off gray. I was trying to see if it was blue at first, but it's definitely an off gray. That I'm going to put the monthly transfer on the front, and hopefully Mom likes this. We'll see if she's picky or not. And then I was going to grab my ink mat. So there's two different sizes of ink mats. There's the big 18 by 18, and then there's the smaller one. And hopefully I have a smaller one right here. Which I don't. Oh, darn it. I am in the process of rearranging my craft room. And as you can see, that is a fail in knowing what I did with my ink mat. That's okay. I'll use the big ink mat. It's a big shirt. It's just being more of a pain to use the full size one instead of the other one, which is about half the size of this. It's longer. And I actually had cut it in half. So, in order to use the ink mat with a shirt, and unless I change my mind in the middle of the live, I'm going to use my Shimmer Silver ink, so it's a glittery ink, and hopefully she likes that. Nope, it's still not showing so hopefully you guys can see the video. So, in order to put a shirt on the ink mat, I used to try to force it in there because, it's really sticky. I don't want to get my hand stuck on it, but take the t-shirt or sweatshirt or whatever you have, turn it inside out. Then, because I want to put it on the front of the t-shirt, I'm going to stick the front of the t-shirt where I want it on the ink mat. And then I'm going to fold the t-shirt around the ink mat. Kind of sounds a little different than it actually is, but this smaller size one is more meant for t-shirts than this big size one, which I'm definitely going to have fun with. All right. So, and again, you can use something as simple as a piece of cardboard. You just have to be careful that your transfer is not sliding around while you're doing it. And I hope I'm not just talking to myself, but that I am actually live. Yeah, I am actually live. All right. Okay, so as you can see, I've got on my ink mat. It's stuck there, but it's got wrinkles, so I'm going to pull the shirt till I get all the little wrinkles out. And then I'm going to line up my transfer where I want. Now, for some reason, this transfer doesn't feel as sticky when it dried. So I'm going to wash it again, and I'll be more careful. And if it just doesn't have its stickiness, I'll put in a fix-it with Couture, and they'll send me a new one. If the product is considered defective, where you're supposed to be able to use it a minimum of 8 times, and this one, I'll know better when I wash it again. Then maybe I just didn't do that good a job washing it last time. We'll see. I'm trying to get all the wrinkles out, not of everywhere, but where I'm going to put the transfer. So you try to put it here. Look where the collar is to try to line it up. You can get out your tape measure and have it perfect if you want. Totally up to you. I just eyeball it. Try to make sure that it's pretty much the same on each side and lined up with the neck. And now it's flat on there. Make sure my shirt underneath there is flat. I don't care if the wrinkles are down here because I'm not putting any ink down there. Okay, so going to pull this off. And usually, because it's cloth, I'm not going to fuzz it. I'm just going to put it on and make sure that it still looks okay where it's lined up from the neck. All right, Mom, hopefully you like the colors I picked. If not, I like this shirt, so. I considered doing it in white, but I thought she might like the glittery better. And then I'll show you as I wash the glitter off how, just to be careful with it, and that it will leave a little bit of glitter behind on the transfer, just because if you've ever used glitter for anything, you know the finer that it is, the harder it is to get every little single piece of it up. So I've got my Seal for Your Protection lid in there just to give it a little extra seal. Of course, I've already got the ink on my fingers. So I need to get out Clorox wipe, wet wipe. Usually when you're working with ink, you want something like that. You don't want just normally a paper towel, because paper towel is not necessarily going to take the ink all off your fingers. I mean, it washes off. It's not a big deal. Because I've had it all over me before on a big transfer when I was first learning. If you look at my old videos when I did the lampshade. Okay, and I'll usually dry my hand. This is just an old washcloth which has been used over and over again. When you're doing small transfers to fuzz it up, before I had a fuzz cloth, I used the washcloth. It helps clean things too. So I'm going to, I'm gonna raise my chair up. I don't know why it's so low. Okay, so let me make sure I've got this here, since I moved my table over a little bit so that you guys can see it. Right, so sliding it over. Hopefully, I'm sliding it to where you can see it. Maybe a little more. Alright, so I've got my ink. Ink usually looks nice and flat like that. You'll notice with the shimmer paste, no matter how you leave it, it always comes out flat like that. And I'm going to do the entire thing in silver. But because this one I thought, I mean, it's staying on there, it's not moving around. But I'm just going to be extra careful with it because it didn't feel super sticky to me like it should. So I'm just going to take a big gob, and I'm going to try to spread it on pretty thin, not thick like I did the chalk piece yesterday. And hopefully you should be able to see the glitter. So this is the first time you're seeing me use just one color, pretty much, on a bigger project. So anybody who's familiar with a Cricut, after you weed it, you pretty much have a one use out of it. So because these transfers can be used over and over again, I can wash it and keep doing transfers over and over and over again. And I just went over the edge with my silver. Just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I'm going to take my Clorox wipe and pick it up as soon as possible. Because it's ink, and ink is less forgiving than the paste. And I'm going to keep going. And of course, I could have done multiple colors, but I just want this to look kind of like a vintage shirt. I think this is a cool looking vintage sign. That's kind of where the idea came from. And Mom always needs t-shirts. And Mother's Day is this weekend too, so maybe I might be able to count this as a Mother's Day gift. We'll see. I got her some shorts for her birthday, so, because she never buys anything new for herself. And she's picky about her clothes. Okay, so I've got most of it done. I'm looking at the different areas. Just got one little spot on the bottom to do. And if anybody leaves a comment that I noticed the other night when I got off and looked at my comments, there were extra comments that I couldn't see until my live ended. I have no idea why. That's never happened before. So if I don't see your comment, I'm sorry. I will answer it after the live because I go through all the comments after the fact, just to see what I missed. And I pretty much rewatched my own video, honestly. Because I kind of critique myself. And like, oh, I should have said that, or I should have done something different. Almost can't believe that I watch my own videos. And then I upload a copy to YouTube. Right, so I've got my silver. I know I can feel it on my fingers. So I'm going to clean my fingers. Always clean your fingers. Always check the fingers when you're using ink. So as I pull this up now, if you can see, I covered it all. I'm going to look as I pull it up. If I see any areas where the ink didn't sink through as much as I wanted it to, I'm going to put some more ink in before I pull it completely up. But we'll just see how it looks. So if you can see that as I'm pulling it up, it looks like a little light on that leaf, so I'm just going to set it right back down. Take a little bit more silver and put it over this leafy area again, just to see if I can push a little bit more through. Maybe I just didn't use the same amount of pressure on that as I did the other side. I hear you, Lou. And I'm going to lift it back up again. And yep, it's brighter, but the line above it isn't. So this corner up here, I must not have like put as much pressure down. So it didn't push it through the silk screen as much, or I didn't have as much ink on this section, not sure. But that's an easy way to fix it if you just pull it up slowly. I want the Refreshing and Delicious to stick out a little bit more. One spot where I want that leaf to like Alright, all done. You see it all glittery, so I'm just going to throw it in my water bucket face up, but you can't quite see my water bucket. And then I've got a bunch on my fingers, so I'm going to close that off. You can see the wet spot there. There's no glitter on it. It's just from the Clorox wipe, and it'll take a little bit to dry. But let me hold up the shirt. Yep, it's the Shimmer Silver. Oops. So hold on, and I'll hold it up so you can kind of see it. Oh, and I got a little bit of silver down here at the bottom. So either this was from my jar or my finger or something. So I'm just going to take my Clorox wipe and wipe that off too. The sooner you can do it, the less likely you are to have anything on it. And of course, this is a dark shirt, so it's going to make it easy. So there's the shirt. So hopefully you like this, Mom, if you tune into this video. So what I'm going to do is I always take it out of this, and then I hang the shirt on a hanger for 24 hours and I heat set it the next day. It's my personal preference. Some people take a hairdryer, dry it, heat set it right away, which you can do, and that's what I would do in my workshops. And it's just personal preference, whatever you like to do. So hopefully I placed it in a good spot, so that when you have the shirt on, that's how it'll look. So I'm going to take it out of this so I can clean my mat and show you how to clean the mat and the transfers again. Just be careful when you're lifting it up. You don't want to fold the shirt over on itself and then smear the ink. So here we go. I don't know if you guys can see this okay. So I like it. And if she doesn't like it, I'll keep it for myself. Pay no attention to the dark spots. Those are going to be dry, so they won't show that tomorrow. Right, here to the side. And I'm going to clean up my ink mat. And then I'm going to clean up my transfer. And I'll show you that because I haven't really shown you a big I showed you how to clean chalk piece, but you haven't seen me clean ink yet. So I'm going to get my filthy bucket. It was just $1 at the Dollar Tree. And as you can see, I've got it sticky side up in here. And I just push it under the water. And I can already see the glitter floating on it, coming off of it. So For this, you can barely see any ink that came through it. The thicker your material is, the less likely you are to see it. But I know it was on there, so I'm just going to wipe it down just as a precaution. I can see a little bit of glitter area. Oops, my fingers are sticking to it. Okay. So once it dries, it's really sticky now. I'll not stick my fingers on it. And then I'm going to grab my cloth so I can set the transfer on it. Pretty much this is just, I got this at Dollar Tree too. It's a dishcloth to soak up the water because I spray water on it, and when I don't have it at the sink, I just keep spraying it until it's done. But since I've got it in a bucket of water, I can see it floating glitter in there. Let me close up my ink. And I got ink on my desk too. It must be, I was a little careless with my squeegee. Maybe I'll notice it when I rewatch the video. Alright, so, depending on how much you can see here. So, here we go. So now that I've had this soaking in there for like, I don't know, a minute or so, maybe 2. Hey, Melissa. It's the, this is the Shimmer Silver Ink. So it's got a little bit of glitter to it. And now you can see the back of my transfer has all glitter on it, even though I didn't use it. I don't know if you can see the water is like this murky, almost looks like opal with all the glitter in there. I'm going to use my wipe here just to wipe off a lot of the excess glitter before I start. You're going to notice that there's going to be glitter on my mat when I get done. There's still going to be glitter on the transfer just because it's glitter. See all the glitter. Alright, so non-sticky side is the one I washed clearly first. I really prefer, one of the things to buy is the fine mist sprayer if you do it, because it's an awesome sprayer. All sprayers should be like that. It's a fine mist, it soaks it, a lot comes out. I should buy more of them just to like fill with other stuff when I'm cleaning. That's how good it is. Alright, so take my eraser. So now that I've got like the bulk of the glitter stuff off it, this is where I'm gonna go over it a final time with my, at least one more time. And I didn't mention that if you clean it with a Clorox wipe, which you can easily do, it does kind of speed up the drying time. It's the alcohol in the Clorox wipes. This seems to just transfer dries faster, so you can put it on the back or quicker, if that's at all of a concern. And I don't know if you can hear the squeaking or not. And I'm running my eraser across it, cleaning it. If you hear squeaking, squeaking is good. It tells you about the stickiness of it. So we've got that. So that's dry. And then in my bucket here somewhere, I should have my squeegee. There we go. So I will rinse it off with my fingers pretty much, and then take it out and clean it off again. So I pretty much just ran my finger over it because it's silicone in the water bucket. And I'm just going to take it out here to dry. And then I'll set it out on the mat to dry as well. And then I'll either come up later and put the backer on, which I usually do sometimes because the cats can tend to step on the transfer, get stuck to them, and it could end up on the floor, which has happened more than once. So I try to be a little more careful about them. Alright, so you can see there's the glitter on my mat. Not a big deal. And actually put it over to the side. To clean this, I just throw it in with my towels in the washer. That's all I do. That's all I mean, it's just a dish drainer. It goes under the dish drainer to soak up the water. And it is really good at soaking up water. That's why I prefer it to my other cloth or just a regular towel. All right. I think that's all I have for tonight. I showed you the shirt and how we did it. Tomorrow night we will heat set it. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I guess I can give you a little bit more info about the club. I can clean this off with the Clorox wipe a little bit more, just to see if it takes up anything while I'm chatting. Club, I posted all the information on the club, and of course lemonade is this month, so if you sign up in the month of May, even if it's the last day of May, you'll get it. You'll get this lemonade one. I do have some old monthly ones because they're exclusive, so they don't repeat the transfers. But I do have some old ones, and they've given some really old ones away that I'll get out. And I might even give some as giveaways. So I'm just going over it again just to see if I can pick up any more of the glitter while I'm sitting here. There is a Norwex thing that's supposed to do it, which I did order. I have to take it out though. So I'll set it to the side to dry. You can see my mat's dirty. But okay, club is $19.99 a month. You get a transfer, 3 paste packets. It comes in an envelope like this, thicker. When you take it out, this is an example of last month's. You get your monthly transfer, you get your paste packets, and you get any special announcements. So last month for April, you could get, if you spent so much, you could get like 50% off the Aiden frame, which is the really expensive, nice frame that's magnetic and everything. So that was the deal. Here, as far as your paste packets go, you open this one and I'll show you. And there's actually an instruction sheet online every month. They give you like ideas on how you can do things. So for this one last month, it was pesto, Tide, and guava. And if you were ever to get a club, monthly club one that you did not like, all you have to do is tell me, because I can trade it out for something else, or an old club one. You don't want someone to get one that they, like, I don't like that design. No one has ever really done that, but, so in April, it was the keep going. And so that's why it had the pesto, which is the green, guava, which is the orange, and what was the other color? Tide, which is like a dark teal. Kind of like the Tide Laundry Detergent. Honestly, I should have just said that. Okay, so that's what you get each month. You get on everything, or there's always special deals. This month, there's a transfer palooza where if you get 2 transfers, you get the 3rd free of equal or lesser value. And they've got some other things going. So, and then they always email the club members the information. When a new catalog comes out, you get a copy of the new catalog for free with the month that it comes out. So pretty much exclusive deals that only club members. So one of the deals they have this month for club members is they've got 3 jars of paste in like coordinating colors, 2 different sets, where as a club member you get it for 50% off. Designers don't get that much off. So that's an example of a deal. So you would get like 3 of these jars for $20 instead of $40, which is the regular price. So it gives you really good deals each month. And it's up to you whether or not you take them. All right, I'm gonna sign off. I hear you, Lou. And if you have any questions, post them. I'll double check to see if there was any messages that didn't show me tonight. And I will be back tomorrow night. I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow night. I made a whole list of things that I can work on. So I'm committed to spending at least an hour in my craft room every night, because what you can't see is not good. It's not good. But I make a little dent in it each night. And then we'll go from there. So at some point we'll look at what all the different surfaces are. I know I did mention squeegees the other night. So this is the detail tool, which has the teeny tiny squeegee, which kind of feels like painting. And then there's a little detail tool, which a lot of times you can just, if you make a mistake in chalk, erase it. There's also the multi-tool, which is designed like almost like a field hockey stick on the end, because it scoops perfectly in the jar and stores it around. And then this squeegee at this end is the same as if you took a mini and cut it in half. But usually when I'm using them, honestly, it feels like I'm painting. It's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to sign off. Night, guys.